Hello everyone, and welcome to the final installment of Let's Play Deus Ex Invisible War. When we left off, we were standing right in front of the Aquinas node, ready to choose one of our endings and see it through to the... well, choose a final allegiance and then see the game through to the end. Let's get started. Alright. I'm going to show you the silly bonus ending first, which actually doesn't involve choosing an allegiance at all.
Just go ahead and try something. I'm ready for you.
For the bonus ending, we just need to head back up and out of the Unatco... well, not all the way out, but up to the very top. You need to grab this flag and just carry it with you. Carry this bad boy down into Manderley's old office. Take it all the way back to his bathroom. And while you're still holding the flag, flush the toilet. And now for the real end game. This is the dance party ending. It includes the quote list. So what happens is, welcome to the DX2 rap party. You highlight the door and it says, this was a one-way trip. Have fun reloading. So I can't open this door, but you find some floating data cubes here. DX2 quote file, part 2. I'm going to try to read them in order. We got flaming penguins. I guess that's neat.
Hello.
There's Nicolette Duclair dancing. Table dancing, I mean. Part 1. DXIW quote file 1. Tara, I will be taking PTO next week. We're screwed. Request denied. I could very well show up on Monday and say, I didn't get my darn Paris vacation and I'm mad. I think I'm going to weld this guy's mouth shut. I wish I could do that to you. Hey Greg, you got the upscale femme done? She got any extra bones? You might open that file and look up her skirt. She might have a bone there. If I could count all the cod pieces I've seen in this industry. Is Prague in Germany? I think Prague is in the Netherlands. I guess I should be reading names. Tara, Harvey, Bill, Tara, Greg, Paul, Greg, Whitney, Monty, Andy, months later. Monty to Clay, playing DX1 multi-MP. Squat before you do it, dude. Seriously. Ricardo, also to Clay. Drop it, dude. Monty to Clay. Thanks, dude. Ricardo, what the hell? BM stands for bowel movement? Chad, why would you wear a Hawaiian shirt that isn't loud? Alex D, why would you wear one at all, unless you're at a Jimmy Buffett concert? Chad, in my mind, I'm always at a Jimmy Buffett concert. Scott, sick after taking a nap. I still feel like crap, but now I feel like wide-awake crap. Warren, well, Alex needs to talk to Dan, but maybe we should show them Deus Ex multiplayer first. Randy, right, shoot first, ask questions later. Monty, gosh dang this fucking frame rate. Steve, if you're going to say fucking, then why use the gosh dang? Go for the gusto. Harvey, Monty has slowly turned over to the dark side. Warren, at Christmas. In my best of all possible worlds, we'd work a full day, but afterwards head straight on home, canceling the party. Harvey, part of intelligence is knowing when someone else's version of reality is more accurate than yours. Brian Glines, where the hell's my shotgun? Warren, we'll have these company meetings until everyone realizes they are a complete waste of time. Warren, at a Friday meeting. We're thinking about taking the entire company to a movie at the end of next week. Ian, could we get a week's notice on that? Warren, this is a week's notice. Monty, this wouldn't be an issue if Ian had a chair. Bill, all your base are belong to us. Clay, all your bonus are belong to us. These aren't that funny, but I do find them a little bit funnier than the ones in Thief, for what that's worth. DXIW quote file 2. Harvey, just because a man knows how to deep throat doesn't mean he's gay. Bill, in Oregon, the cops used to taser the tree huggers in the groin. Bill, never try to fight a god at 4 in the morning. Harvey, I was surprised. Most of the people at GDC this year looked normal. I only saw one person wearing knee-high moccasins. One guy was wearing a bright yellow top hat, too, Monty. And then you asked Steve to take all that off? Monty. With all of the parts of your brain put together, you couldn't save the sequel to that terrible game. Mock. Masochistic Buddhism. Life is suffering, but suffering can be fun. It is worth noting that at this point, Looking Glass had closed and several of its employees had moved over to Ion Storm. I know that Mock, at least, worked at Looking Glass before shifting over to Ion. Monty, through ICQ. I may need to take Monday off. Harvey. No! Monty. Sad face. Harvey. A penis. Monty, you have a strange smile, sir. In reference to a visual object placement and style. Den. So you like it when it goes whoopish. Ricardo. Don't use that advanced terminology around me. Den. So maybe like whoopish. Ricardo. I want it flush against the seawall like Kisesh. After Ricardo tricked Kent into confusion about Clay's gender. Kent, through ICQ. Straight up, it's a girl? Bill. Installing a MMPRPG. Damn, even their installer is lagged. Warren, to Alex B. I've heard the miracle of your throat. Clay, I miss my dongle. Dane, watching Chad unbox the new server machine. That looks like something that should have a tribe of monkeys worshipping it, which is actually pretty much what will happen when you get the thing up and running. Kent, I've been running around in my lap all day. William, digging through a box that came in the mail. Whoa, lots of carnivorous mammals. Kent, Terry has quick hands. He stripped me more times than I can count. Harvey, how do you hide a pistol in a pair of panties? Monty? Harvey, wow, was that your stomach grumbling? Whitney, no, lower. Kent, after a meal with particularly bad service. I like bad service, it's cheaper. Sarah, there are good side effects to having the disposition of a cracked-out chihuahua. Ricardo, damn, these banana chips smell way different than they taste. They smell kinda like feet. Guess I'm done with them. Ken, so since you smelled them before you ate them, you originally wanted to taste feet? Whitney, you're so staid and unshakable. I admire that quality in a eunuch. Kent, do you have ICQ? If so, add me to your list. My number is XXXXXXX. Jared, I don't have a phone. Can't get into the VIP area. Can't get into the secure area. But here's part 3. DXIW quote file 3. Bill, we got a good design resume, but the guy is 17 and he's from Sweden. Harvey, is he hot? Steve, people who own mobile homes should not be allowed to own tigers. Monty, if you went to the bathroom in my house, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. Kent, months later after his first visit to Monty's condo. Dude, Monty was out of toilet paper. I can't believe I had to wipe my ass with Kleenexes. Harvey, I need a Magic 8-ball filled with Joy Division lyrics. Steve, for Friday the 13th Part 10, why don't they just wait till Halloween falls on the 13th to release it? Ricardo, let me show you how to do this drag thing. Harvey, glasses, the ultimate form of birth control. Alex D, I have a more effective form of birth control. Thing on your back? Ricardo, watching as Alex sinks to the ground in amusement. You've brought Alex to his knees. Harvey, if I was a Jedi, damn, this studio would be run very differently. Harvey, if you go to Germany, the people there look just like the people in Seattle, except they all wear orange pants. Tara, pardon me while I lick my chopsticks. Alex D, first law of programmers. A programmer must not harm the frame rate, or by omission of action allow the frame rate to be harmed. Sarah, we need to might bomb the couch in the design pit. It gave me a rash. Ricardo, what's that flowery smell? Bill, I was lotioning up my knees. Sarah, there's plenty of time for sleep when you're dead. Den, you've got to get out in the woods for that kind of stuff, if you know what I mean. Sarah, what? The trash can in our game talks? I'm now being paid to write dialogue for trash cans. Harvey, welcome to the game industry. Sarah, later. Okay, but if the urinals talk, I'm out of here. Harvey, man, I am so glad they included a pull point for the pelvis. Chris, it was a good idea on the webpage demo, too. Monty, it's very hard to prove treason in court. Steve, oh, are you talking about that American guy fighting with the Taliban? Monty, yeah, I was reading that treason is hardly ever brought against anyone. Steve, dude, whatever laws there are, his ass is cooked. Alex and Sarah, in unison, peering at corpse bobbing in the water. Sarah, I was just noticing how round the UNATCO troopers' butts are. Alex D. Yeah, me too. Sarah, is it a good thing or a bad thing that we both noticed it at the same time? Alright. Let's head to the bar first. Here's part 4. DXIW quote file 4. Sarah, did you just call me Missy? Alex D. Give me a break. I'm wearing cowboy boots. Tara. As an FYI, my preferred method of communication with you all is the bullet point method. If you can't break it down into bullet points, try again. Sarah, sniffing the air. Did something die in the QA pit? Alex D. Yes, our hopes and dreams. Ricardo. Damn, dude, you're in a bad mood today. You're like a Sith Lord. Kent. Yeah, Darth Mullet. Harvey. If one of you guys dies on Christmas vacation, who will we make fun of? Steve. The dead one. Chris. We can't have guards walking up to dead cats and saying, "Here, kitty, kitty." Wolfie, poster on Planet Deus Ex after seeing a photo of Warren in a GameSpy interview. That's Warren Spector? With such a cool name, I expected him to look like JC at least. Warren, I have some hand lotion in my office if you want to use some. Steve, did Harvey ever give you those Rifts books? Monty, no, he gave them to Goodwill. Steve, that sucks. Monty, the funny thing about that is that Harvey has absolutely no fucking goodwill. Tara, when can get you me that schedule update? Whitney, maybe tonight. I'll probably kick back with a bottle of wine and work on it. Steve, you guys only know the pretentious Harvey. I know a different Harvey, the Harvey that will eat a donut off the fucking floor. Greg, there's just not much you can do with a black glove. Harvey, on his knees, Alex almost looks like a normal person. Kent, the cowbell is the mullet of modern music. Harvey, such an obvious attempt to get into the quote file will never work. Ricardo, dude, I'm the bathroom body snatcher. Sheldon, we can't let ourselves get eaten alive by the capitalist Ouroboros. Oops. Wrong button. With large silicone breasts glued to the front. Paul, are you saying you're God? Brian, floods can't stop God. They didn't stop Noah, and they won't stop me. Paul, buddy, I knew Noah, and you're no Noah. Warren, oh, I get it. That's irony. Alex D, maybe, but the point was humor. Humor is the destination. Irony is merely the road. Alex D, suddenly I have this disturbing mental picture of two men from the Philippines, dressed up as candy machines, wailing on each other while belting out My Way. Dave Reese, people always want to rewrite and overdo everything because we are geeks and we like that shit. Sarah, I want to know why we have a tag called plus death death. Another flaming penguin on the bar. That's fun. That's part 7. This must be part 5. DXIW quote file 5. Brian, like as a kid I learned basically that God was a nice elderly gentleman who lived in outer space. Bill, there aren't very many quotes by me in the quote file. Steve, well, most of the quotes in there aren't funny, so count it as a blessing. Chris, sex is cool color stuff that doesn't convey anything useful to the player. Sarah, real D&D does all that shit too. I can't honestly read this one. Player is likely to meet during the game will be really fun. Seriously. It's an interesting topic, and I bet that 1 or 2 tools will become better because of this one meeting. Synergy, baby. Sarah, synergy is how you get warts. Sheldon, I think we can blow off fish and roaches. Roaches won't squawk, I don't think, and if you spook the fish, you're probably splashing around in the water and making noise anyway. Sheldon, given the huge number of NPCs, the piddling few important... have piddling few important ones, and of the important ones, half are senescent douchebags from the first game, like Tracer Tong. Sarah, by the way, why is the statue emerald? Is this a Wizard of Oz thing or what? Kent, it's just a rough idea. Nothing set in stone. Sarah, haha, very punny. Maybe we can get Gene Hackman to do the voice acting for Saman. Kent, yeah, Gene Hackman would be awesome. And his name implies a familiarity with DX. You know, Gene Hackman. Sarah, you're just on a roll, aren't you? Chris, Being drunk is just like having a really low frame rate. Warren. It takes me 5 years to hire someone truly incompetent. Sheldon. At least your gnomes aren't getting medieval on anybody's ass. Monty. Do you ever stop bitching? Harvey. Only when I'm dead. Kent. If this isn't the pot calling the kettle black as a trillion midnights. Sheldon. 6 WTFs are probably enough. Sheldon. Only for death moans, no talking. Jay. I'm not in the quote file, dude. Bill. Sure you are. There's that one about dropping a penny to find you. Jay. Aw, man, that isn't even funny. At least it's true. DXIW quote file 6. Kent. But if you require the player to roll for this spell, then you're discriminating against players with no hands, or against players who cannot afford dice. Harvey. If you ever have no hands, I am going to laugh at you. Harvey to Monty. How many months of therapy could you buy with the money it'll cost to have all your fucking teeth pulled out? Monty. Speaking of hypocrites, where's Ricardo? Monty. Back me up if I'm saying something wrong. Sheldon. My one ambition is to become a stay-at-home dad with a nanny. Ricardo. I was here at 8:45 this morning. Harvey. I was working out then. Ricardo. That's not working. Harvey. But working out makes me a better worker, so I should get paid for it. Kent. Dude, you can abstract that out to any activity in your life. Harvey. Man, if I could just get paid for having sex because it makes me a better worker. Kent. What, instead of having to pay for sex? Alex. Has anyone seen Jay around? Kent. If you can't find him, just drop a penny. Tara. I'm going to have to get drunk just to sleep there. Harvey. That's just lame, rude, and unprofessional. Warren. I can't argue with that, but it's just a fact that lame and human often go hand in hand. Or am I just too cynical? Harvey. We have to strike a balance between empathizing with the flawed human natures of the people around us and kicking these slugs in the ass until they do their jobs. Kent. Hey man, how's your leg? Your hamstring feeling okay? Stan. It's pretty much better, though I still can't bend over like I usually do. John H. Jason's Deli can't do vegetarian. I always either get bacon or a raw, unwashed carrot shoved in a bun. Nate. As long as a woman isn't cleaning the urinal I'm peeing into, I'm fine with that. Doug. That is an unfortunate portal selection by our friend the automatic portal generator. A 4.2 from the East German judge. Alex C. Jeremy, why do you have that funny smile on your face? Jeremy. I'm trying to break the silence. Alex D. O turret, we loved thee so, but thy gun did fire too slow, and thy physics it sank too low, so dear turret, you've got to go. Part 7. John DXIW quote file 7. John Talley. What happened to that model? Whitney. God rolled the dice and we lost. Kent. Which side of the street has the odd numbered addresses? Ricardo. The odd numbers are always on the left side of the street. Kent. What if you're driving the other way down the street? Ricardo. Bill. Scheduling a movie stuff were the top things on my list for the rest of the week. Harvey. That and butchering the English language. Sarah. Dead people make me horny. Chris. Next week we will have UI virgins. Stan. Next week we have Blue Oyster Cult playing in Dallas. Kent. I take it you're going? Stan. Is a pig's ass pork? Of course I'm going. Monty. Does Long John Silver's have any food that isn't fried? Kent. Dude, you can't even get a soft drink that isn't fried at LJS. Jeremy. Dude, you should get a, biocomputer. It's a computer, but it's like a fucking bio. You feed it nutrients and shit. Sarah. How did we get from Crizzy Crotch and Don't Have No Boobies to Biomod Substrate maintains the telomere length of a cell's chromosomes in the same conversation? Jim. You actually go out and pick the stuff, or you have your own garden? Monty. No, I get it at Whole Foods, but that's a quest in itself. Dave. That's because the nerds melt in sunlight. Harvey. Are you guys too worn out, or do you want to do Ricardo too? Harvey. All I know is that I get a better workout in a gay gym. Harvey. If you're working late, can we order crunch food? Sarah. Can we order crunch methamphetamines? Greg. Man, I saw the Executioners hip-hop group on some show, and they had their band way in the back where you couldn't see them. All you could see were these 3 guys up front waving their arms with microphones. At least give them a tangerine or something. Whitney. Okay, let's go ahead and make that 12. Jeremy. Twizzy 12? Whitney. No, just 12. Doug. Currently, Ted is working on 3 of the top 5 of the top 10 list. Sheldon. Thanks for the speedy turnaround on those characters. Kent. Ogburn is my middle name, but if my parents had had any fucking foresight, it would have been speedy turnaround. Paul. I want to grab the giant squid by his root and point him at the player. Who invented the black market Ogs? Kent. Oh, you invented those? Monty. Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying that I invented the black market itself, though. Jeremy. After getting a haircut. You should have seen the amount of hair that surrounded my barber chair. It looked like 3 or 4 large gerbils exploded. Monty. That's totally out of kilter. Sarah. Tong is ageless and timeless, like elegant wine, I think is what that's supposed to say. Well, it's longer than that. Who knows? Sarah. The Demo Awareness Biomod. Is that the mod that gives us foreknowledge of when IDOS is going to demand demos? I kind of like this quote file just because this game came out when I was finally old enough to, you know, be very tentatively moving towards adulthood. This game came out when I was a freshman in college, so it was my first year away from home, and I recognized the current events that they're talking about, and I don't know, it's just kind of cool. On the dance floor, so we'll go here first. DXIW quote file 8. Bill. Kent's dumps are different than Ricardo's dumps. They might find something different in Ricardo's dumps than they would in Kent's. Kent. There's English, and then there's Monty English, the helicopter that Ava Brown under orders of Tracer Tong has landed here hoping to get to one of the lab rats. Bill. I don't want to get forced into using the Taiwanese people. Harvey. If we want to ship in June, we need to have a completely playable game, albeit still in need of polish and tuning, by June 30th. Chris. Who the hell inverted the up-down joystick in the latest build? Alex Duran. I did. Chris. What the fuck? This isn't a flight sim. The player does not have flaps. Ricardo. Working on Monty's map. Dude, this closet is as big as my freaking living room. Monty. It's not my fault your living room is so small. Harvey. Currently, the docs still show maps that we cut. Can you guys take a moment to update your docs? Kent. Maybe one new task exists. Bill. Frequently is reprimanded. Expired. I guess that's the first letter of each of those is M-O-N-T-E, Monty. And frequently is reprimanded. Expired. Fire. Oh, documentation. Fired. Harvey. Can't hide incompetence. Can't kill entropy. No drive, really. And can't understand language. Ass monkey. Monty. Man, I struggle enough with my grammar without having Hudson help me out. Chris. Cinematic conversations will spawn the appropriately sexed puppets. Harvey. Then you have a lot of players like Terrell Davis who come out and have a few great seasons and then blow out their ACLU. Clay. Hey Kent, if you want to set up a beam that sets off the alarm and cameras, is that the red, green, or yellow beam? Nathan. NPCs don't leak memory when they are dead. Can't get into the secure area, but here's part 9. DXIW quote file 9. Harvey. How can we get his contact info? Bill. I have his package. Pam. Maybe it's me, but that sounded funny. Monty. I'm practically at death's bed. Sarah. The meeting was before the Todd Toaster Cheese incident, so unless there's some olfactory time warp in his office, the stink was coming from another undetermined source. Alex Duran. So we're working on head bob. Obviously, we need something that indicates movement of the player, and head bob is a somewhat traditional way of doing it. But I personally don't like it, and it makes a lot of players motion sick, and they turn it off and lose the sense. I generally much prefer weapon bob. Germ. This works in the case of normal movement, but what about movement modes that have no user arms, like mantling and climbing? Pete. That's when we'll have Silent Bob. Monty. I only want to see my own penis, and even that scares me a little bit. Bill. Warren's under a lot of pressure right now, out there amongst the weasels. Brian Sharp. I have to admit that I have not understood a single thing that has been said in a while. Sheldon. My heart skipped a beat, but yes, Grays have power-up barks written, imported, and probably recorded. Chris. You got the fuzzy end of the lollipop on that one. Monty. You are about to get a bad kind of banana shake. Harvey. Is there such a thing? Monty. Yes, there is. Have you ever seen Deliverance? Brian Sharp. Damn, I wonder why the toilets aren't drawing in flesh. Steve, temporarily reverting to Monty English. Dave's a weird guy. He's a different drummer. Pete, what kind of interface would you like to see for this kind of interface? Kent, where does the hate come from, Steve? Steve, dude, I have a fucking pack mule full of hate that just follows me around. John Talley, after a particularly inane conversation. This is why I don't come and talk to you guys much. Alex D. That's why we talk this way. Nathan. This is like a typical day where I live. John Talley. This is like a typical day where I live too, but that's because I have a 2-year-old. Sarah. I am cannibal vegetarian. I will barbecue an employee if there is no veggie option. I was trying to convince Alex to get on top of the railing and then on top of the, ceiling like he did when I was actually here. Very good. They've deleted the vent. But I can probably still get to the balcony. Nothing up here, though. So next, we'll head over towards NG. But here's part 10. DXIW quote file 10. Tara, during the holiday break. If you are one of the few who are here today, please drop me a line to let me know what you were working on this week. Please note, I am working on the game this week is not acceptable. Alex Brandon. So I wrote 2 alternate pieces for this map, a commando military song and an ethereal song. Not sure which one is appropriate. Harvey. Well, you're either going there to kill a scientist or steal some weapon plans, not to sell Amway. Bill. Selling Amway comes in Mission 3. Chris Cobb on his first day. How goes DX2? Kent. DX2 is busy, frantic, seat of the pants. Chris Cobb. So I hear, and I hear you are quite the outspoken pain in the ass over there. Ian. I don't care what code we write as long as we know what we're writing. Chris. It was noticeably better when it was all working. Harvey. Wow, I am honestly too embarrassed to ask Tara if I can use the printer in her office to print out my D&D character sheet. Kent. Warren doesn't like me. Bill. What are you talking about? He thinks of you as a son. Kent. Yeah, son of a bitch. Monty. I'm scared to play gay chicken with Steve. Kent. Steve, aren't you white? Steve, only on the outside, cracka. Ricardo, in email. Sounds good to me. I agree with Christ about possibly waiting. Ricardo, later, in email. Wow, I called Chris Christ. Harvey, if Christ were heading up this programming team, we might not be running late. Monty, regarding male/female player character. We should make the player character hydrogenous. Monty, Alex is just a computer with sniffles. Harvey, interrupting a meeting. I'd really like to go to the restroom now. Does anyone have my shoe? Shipping. Weird. Harvey, that's the kind of thing that won't be supported if you don't support it, but it will be if you do. Steve, I'm reading that it takes $3,000 a month to feed a tiger. Brian Glines, holy shit, what do they feed them? Clay, transients. Chris, do we maybe want a new attachment type that's like flaccid attachment or something that auto-instantiates down the object but doesn't restrict its movement? Kent, handing Chris an unopened fortune cookie. Within lies the future of our project. Chris, reading fortune cookie. You have great patience. Tammy.
Oh, are you drunk or what?
I don't recognize Tammy. Or Andy.
Thieves and scabs.
Here's Leo.
What's up?
Alrighty. Here's part 11. DXIW quote file 11. Harvey. AILOD. Phonetically, that's practically Elvish. Steve. R40 is 40 Rand, the primary note of currency in South Africa. Inyanga is a traditional Zulu term for shaman or witch doctor. The sjambok is a usually non-lethal short whip used by South African police. Make room for my brain, people. Monty. I don't believe in incest, because I don't have a sister. Bill. The data vault isn't a suppository of information. Chris. I did the initial implementation of that. It was just an assload of raycasting. Monty. Oh, this is supposed to be the new interface, but it fucking looks like the old one. Steve. You know why? Because the interface sensed the boiling pot of urine that is your attitude and said I'm not showing my face. Monty. I knew you were going to say some bullshit. Kent. If you were going to be stranded on a desert island and could only have one hip-hop CD with you, what would it be? Monty. I don't know. Are there any lesbian rappers? Clay. March 19th, 2003, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Anyone want to go get a burrito with me before the war? Tara. Dane, you're not broken. Forgive Harvey. Steve. Hey, are you staying late tonight? Kent. Nah, I'm going to try to be out of here by 8:30 or 9. Steve. Oh, so you're not hardcore. Kent. Actually, I'm so hardcore that I'm not behind schedule. Warren. Anyone know a good physical therapist who's part of our PPO plan? If you've had a good experience, let me know. Warren, later. Enough people have asked about my injury and expressed some concern about my health. I'm fine. I need to find a physical therapist for my lovely wife, Caroline, who through some combination of ballroom dance, Pilates, and working out in the gym downstairs, has managed to wrench her shoulder all out of whack. Thanks for the kind thoughts, though. Dave Reese. Actually, Warren, they were asking because we had a 100 per head office pool going on who would be the first person at the company to strain their eyes looking at porn. Most of the money is on Monty, but you were a close second. Tyler. Dude, stop staring at her ass. Bill, hold on, I was sure I saw verts flying out. Can't get into the bathroom, so let's head to the bar now. Here's part 12. DXIW quote file 12. Monty. Steve, tell me a story. Steve. Fuck you. Ricardo singing RESPETC. Harvey. We'll hit higher than we would have if we'd shot lower. Brady. I've got road rage worse than anybody. Monty. Yeah, but you drive a motorcycle. What can you do with that? Brady. Follow him home. Todd. Have any of you guys noticed that the game seems to crash a whole lot? Harvey. A full week for the gray AI? David Kalina. They're aliens, dude. Germ. I've written the code so that it robustly doesn't crash. Bill, in the bug database. This concrete floor texture has too strong of a normal map texture, making it appear to be made out of paper machete. Brian, please give us the name of the texture. Jim, we should address this at ArtPass when it's been properly lit. Brian Glines. The shader name is M1 HubInk _ Hall Floor 1, and I'd say it looks closer to papier-mâché than a paper machete. Bill. The bug DB is very intermittent. Sometimes it flies, sometimes it is like a dog digging in quicksand. Time-traveling Tara. Did you guys discuss our issues and how we're going to meet Greg's goals yesterday? Harvey. I'm the most happy-go-lucky motherfucker at this company. Tara, to the frantic Bill. Relax, bitch, I'm on it. Harvey. Monty's in there taking one of his ribbon-thin dumps. He's probably shitting pure mercury. Kent. When he's done with a dump, it looks like the T-1000 died in the toilet. Clay. I had a UPS delivery the other day that was signed for by someone named Ruiz. I don't know a Ruiz that works here, do you? If someone here has my delivery, please let me know before I call UPS and this gets ugly. Mark Lampert. Isn't Todd's middle name Ruiz? It's on his car's back window in big old English letters anyway. Monty. We have 16 weeks left. Plenty of time. Harvey. Let's add vehicles back in. Brian Glines. That'd be pretty damned lame in our game, driving a car down a hallway. Even they knew that their levels were pretty tiny. Alright. Student. Says nothing. That student says nothing. That student says nothing. Here's part 13. DXIW quote file 13. Harvey, company-wide page. Denise, we're going to do it in the conference room. There are couches in there. Ricardo. Bill, I might not come in tomorrow until after 12. Steve. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Bill. I have to wait at my house tomorrow. We're taking delivery of a king-size mattress between 8 and 12. Bill. Is that why you're coming in late, Ricardo? J. Lee. That's what I told them on the first game. Don't just have 1 or 2 people in a scene. Have several, then it'll look like a lot of people. Chris, temporarily reverting to Martenglish. Horizontal. John Talley, sighing deeply. There's so many things that just suck. Monty, yeah, I'm trying to fix it so there aren't just a bunch of people running around on the track. Right now it just looks like a Benny Hill episode. Steve, you don't know the depth of my agony. Monty, have you seen my toe? Sarah, responding to a very bad set of interview questions. You are a woman, or a man. The goal is to win the game. We highly value the cinematics and the feel. Gameplay is intuitive without being linear. In both eventualities, you can play the game well, you illiterate louts. Kent, what's jujitsu? Kane, have you ever had one of those dreams where you're hitting someone and they don't feel anything and they just keep laughing at you? Kent, no, but I've had dreams where I'm humping someone and they don't feel anything and they just keep laughing at me. Sheldon, if it's all right, I'd like to be in the booth with Saman during the 10 a.m. meeting. Sarah, I can't decide if I want this to mess up again. If it does, then at least the bug is reproducible. If it doesn't, then I have to live in fear of the next random crash. Sheldon, at least with random fear we can keep working. Harvey, email. Just out of curiosity, let me know, without spamming the entire company, if you have a personal website that you maintain. Tara, email. If you've got $6.95 a month, you can check it out. Chris, it was dumber and less horrible than we thought. Harvey, where's Monty? Dave Reese, pointing to Monty sitting in the room. He's camouflaged as a normal person today. Elan, Shakespeare was complaining about this same thing 400 years ago. Ricardo, who? Elan, Shakespeare the English dramatist. Denise, I've got to do a couple of lines and then I'll be right back. For audio, I mean, not Coke. Harvey, we're not cutting the fucking penguin.
That's not nice.
And here's part 14. DXIW quote file 14. Greg C. talking about character models. Man, females are a problem, dude. Clay, test track is at its limits. Harvey, so is your grammar. Harvey, all designers should look at this list and this bug and make sure it's still up to date. Brian S. Never underestimate any one employee's ability to cause damage. Greg C. Exasperated. Well, how hard is that, Jay? Make a round square on the end. Elan, hey, smell my salsa. Monty, you sound like my girlfriend. Tara, I'd bet the cases of strep throat, whooping cough, meningitis, tonsillitis, etc. in this office go up now that we have the community scooters. Spectre has just doomed the project with his little contraptions. Sergio, that's our problem here. Too much thinking going on. Monty, reading spam mail. Wow, you can get Viagra at half price. Brian Glines, dies in a playthrough. Fuck! Monty, what, did you just buy some? Wendy, dude, don't yell at me. David Reese, I'm not yelling at you, I'm yelling at the world. Alex D, I typed nuke all on Mercenary District to kill all pawns, and Lin Mei Chen sent me a DL. Excellent, you've done much to bring peace to this part of the city. Harvey at the cheats console. Paul, type blind for me. Paul E, what does blind do? Harvey, it makes it so that they can't see. Alex Duran, is the puppet sexed instead of the player? Dave Reese, all this talk about puppet sex is starting to make me wet. Monty, we should get an office Floby. Clay, Monty, even if we did, I doubt your haircuts would look any different. Test track. Session dropped. Tom Bonner, are you having any trouble with map loads? John Savinelli, if the map will load, no. Warren, we can have absolutely no cursing in the quote file. Bill, there is none. Trust me. Gray, 100 credits. The Gray won't talk to me. The Omar bartender is named Steamy Dinkins. And he's got a rat named the Hog.
What are you doing? Stop doing that. Final warning.
Alright, well that's it. So, time to reload and check out the 4 real endings. So, back to you, Natco Ruins. Alright. Now, I won't lie to you. Since Leo isn't here, I'm still not 100% certain that this ending will work. But I'm going to go for it anyway. This is my least favorite of the real endings. So I'm doing it first. This is what happens. Well, if Leo is here, this is the advice he gives you. Which is just to kill everybody. So that's what I'm gonna go do. So back out to Liberty Island. Gonna deal with the Dentons first. Should probably deal with their allies too. But can disable all the turrets.
You're going to regret system disruption. There is danger.
All right. Here's Paul.
From a spy satellite, Alex. I am in Omar now. It is good. I saw one of the leaders go down. They are weak and made of flesh. Forget their schemes. Wipe them all out and destroy the machine JC Denton built inside the statue.
Goal received. Defeat everyone. Okay, there it is. Renegade. Wipe out the leaders of each faction and destroy JC's machine. This will eliminate the possibility of any of their plans being completed. So I'm gonna Dragon Tooth. JC, who you'll notice disappears. Goal resolved, Apostle Core Great Advance. Next, I will head over to the east side and take care of Saman. So that's how they give it to you if you don't rescue Leo. Good to know. Get the Dragon Tooth back out. I know knocking people out doesn't cut it. You have to kill them. So, for the Armored Templars, I'm going to mag rail it. Well, that worked. Saman is dead. So now let's go deal with Dumier and Nicolette. Out to the west side. Wow.
I'll resolve this.
They've gotten into Quite the rumble. Doesn't affect me, though. Just gotta head back to the Illuminati camp. So next I need to kill Chad and Nicolette.
Repairing damage. Process aborted.
Don't really want to have to shoot.
Poison.
Oh, I think it's poison.
Stop!
Come out here.
Initiating repairs. Must eliminate source functionality. Will regret this.
Oh, dang. At some point I got spotted, but that doesn't matter. Alright, all the leaders are dead, so let's go back to the statue. Nicolette Duclair rejected her mother's Illuminati ties. After the collapse, she understood their importance and joined the society herself. Now, if I remember right, I'm still not quite finished. Gotta get past these dudes. Get back to the statue. I gotta destroy the machine.
No! You are destroying the Helios core. Satisfied, Alex. So I'm mortal like you again. Helios won't be able to save me this time. But I don't plan to be the one who needs saving. You want to plunge the world into chaos? Come and take it from me. I've reclaimed the Statue of Liberty for all of humanity.
Goal received. Kill JC Denton again. Alright, can do that. Let's cloak up and kill him.
Remarkable achievement. You do not even comprehend today's significance for the future of this planet, but you have our gratitude. A discount will be applied to all of your business transactions with our agents, anywhere in the world.
After the Great Collapse, only the mighty survived. 2 centuries of war saw the rise and fall of many empires. It was the age of heroes, the battle-fired crucible of all subsequent history. In the end, the Earth was no longer green. Nothing survived on its surface other than a few embers of humankind. But from this crucible emerged the masterworks of evolution. They were fit not just for the new Earth, but for the most barren corners of creation. The glory of humanity would henceforward stretch on, through time and space, to the vanishing point of eternity.
Let us reply to ambition that it is she herself that gives us a taste for solitude. Montaigne. So that's the Renegade ending. Next, I'm going to do the Templar ending. So once you're... you actually do switch alliances when you upload to somebody. So upload spec to Templars. Now everyone who's not Templar will be against me, but the Templars are on my side.
Well, I've turned your heart just in time. Now make sure that both Dentons have been killed. Then step into J.C. Denton's machine inside the statue so that the ducts will be primed with your
Engaging in combat.
Christ, for the sake of purity.
Alright, so I gotta head out. Which isn't that hard to do. Out we go. So there's JC.
Satellite, Alex. I am an Omar now. It is good. I saw one of the leaders go down. They are weak and made of flesh. Forget their schemes. Wipe them all out and destroy the machine J.C. Denton built inside the statue.
Last, the moment is at hand. Step into the device and let us exercise that second soul of nanites. You shall be reborn, and so shall humanity.
I have to say,
It's been shut down.
the Dentons seem pretty weak. Gotta get the turrets. Need to cloak up again.
No. The Templars are destroying the Helios core. Satisfied, Alex? I'm mortal like you again. Helios won't be able to save me this time. But I don't plan to be the one who needs saving.
There's nothing wrong with being human. Apparently you lost sight of that long ago.
You're wrong. Everything I've built, including you, was meant to ensure the survival of humanity. Like it or not, intelligent life will evolve to the next level. With or without us.
With or without one of us, you mean? I'm a Knight Templar now. May purity prevail.
None of us will be safe until he's dead.
Alright, let's do this right quick. Now, gotta do the uplink.
Good citizens, paladins, we have won! Allow me this allegory. Our forebears would say that we have at last reached the Delectable Mountains. Yes, well, we have conquered these mountains, and soon not one hill will have a name other than Clear. We have burned the land clean. What cells of disease remain are few in number and short on time. But friends, citizens, I tell you today that we have a new enemy. The enemy's name is Error, and it stands tall against the horizon. This new enemy is all too human. But we will act now, before these traitors spread their disease to other susceptible minds.
He that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. John Bunyan, Pilgrim's Progress. Anyway, I hope it's obvious why I don't like any of the endings so far. So let's reload again. They're all very disturbingly murderous so far. Next, I'm going to do my second favorite, which is actually palatable to me, but it still involves murdering the Dentons, which I don't like. Upload spec to Illuminati.
Excellent. My technicians on Ophelia are already configuring the first operational Aquinas hub in a generation, one which is in orbit and safe from tampering. Now make sure that both Denton brothers are dead and destroy their illegal machine.
Easy enough. Let's get out of here.
Who's there?
By the Grail! By the skull of Satan! You just gave the world another 20 years of chaos. You have broken from me completely. Do not expect to leave the island alive. I know you're there! Irredeemable. You're absolutely irredeemable. Prepare yourself for the grave.
Out we go. If he's still alive, Saman shows up here with all of his Templar buddies.
I will be victorious.
Not that it does him any good.
I will have to take your biomod materials by force.
This will be a simple matter.
Satisfied, Alex. I am an Omar now. It is good. I saw one of the leaders go down. They are weak and made of flesh. Forget their schemes. Wipe them all out and destroy the machine J.C. Denton built inside the statue.
Oh, good.
You can't defeat me.
The Templar took out Paul for me. Well, that makes things easy. It doesn't seem to be working. No matter. Let's go in there and kill him myself.
Historians no longer doubt that an event such as the collapse was necessary for the emergence of our global democratic state. How else would everyone, high and low, have been convinced to embrace communal scrutiny? It's hard to believe, but prior to 2052, humans lived in armed encampments of hundreds of millions of people. Now, after a century of peace, our great cities flourish. Enormous towers command the landscape on every continent. 1 trillion transactions per second. So much inscrutable activity. Yet we are united, at peace, and free. We owe it all to Ophelia, a name we all know. But what is Ophelia? A system? A place? We all know her name, yet our leaders deny that she even exists. Believe, citizens. Believe in the creator of our world. Is it wrong to love a being you cannot see? Such belief is the highest faculty a human being can develop. If you doubt that she exists, just look around. Look at all she has made.
The formation of knowledge and the increase of power regularly reinforce one another. Michel Foucault, Discipline and Punish. And last, my favorite ending. The one I canonically choose, but both just because it's the one I like and because it doesn't involve any murder. We'll upload the spec to JC Denton.
You're clear. Now come to the statue. I need a direct interface with your biomodifications in order to structure Helios properly. To be the center of a civilization, an electronic mind must mirror the intelligences of the citizens. We will be the models.
Engaging in combat.
Burn in hell!
Curious.
There's been a scuffle.
All right. We're done. We don't need to take anybody out with this ending, which is nice.
Irredeemable. You're absolutely irredeemable. Prepare yourself for the grave.
Out to the west side. After a brief training course, SSC guards are ready for deployment anywhere, anytime. Later, bro.
No! Let go of sight, Baphomet!
And now I just need to head inside.
Great work. The JC Helios AI has already integrated the Martin's protocol. Soon, everyone will share the nanites coursing through your veins. You're about to become the final catalyst for the next evolution of humankind. Everything leading up to this, all the work and sacrifice, has been well worth it. There will be an end to hierarchy as soon as you and JC share your abilities with the world. Each person's true potential will be able to shine through now, no longer burdened by physical limitations. Every voice will be heard. It won't matter who or where you are. The stratum. Step into the chamber. It's time. With this act, the geography of human thinking will be leveled. Every mind will be part of a continuum. Trust me, misunderstanding, ignorance,
all right.
charade of warring ideologies.
Let's do it.
Helios will speak. Year of our union, 125. Our consensus remains clear. Yes, we will prolong this second century of peace. Economic automation is complete. Our research will now encompass other frontiers. Yes, this is the consensus we have created. Our unity will soon be absolute. The remaining boundaries are vanishing. Yes, share your mind with everyone. Open yourself. Your needs are the needs of all. Let us understand and be transformed. Yes. Transform each other and transform yourselves. The only frontier that has ever existed is the self. Helios has spoken.
It really is of importance not only what men do, but also what manner of men they are that do it. Among the works of man, the first importance surely is man himself. John Stuart Mill, On Liberty. And that's it! This has been Let's Play Deus Ex Invisible War. It's over. It wasn't as bad as I remembered, but It just wasn't nearly as good as the first game, or the third game, which I am excited to announce is up next. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time for Deus Ex Human Revolution. Bye-bye for now.